Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Career Mode 1.0. Okay, so this is a pretty large craft. We have two missions that I'm trying to knock out with this craft. Firstly, we've got to build a space station in Kerbal orbit, and we've also got to build a space station in solar orbit. I don't really want to build a space station in solar orbit just yet, but I can get the contract by kind of cheesing it. Effectively, we'll launch a space station that fulfills the criteria into a Kerbal orbit, which will get us one. That one's just a side effect, really. I do actually want to build something in Kerbal orbit. And then, we take it out of Kerbal sphere of influence just as soon as we go into the solar sphere of influence. We'll get the mission, because we'll be a space station in solar orbit, and then we just turn around and burn, and we'll be back at Kerbal. Now, there's a couple of problems with this. Firstly, it's kind of fuel intensive for what we've got. I'm not sure if we're actually going to have enough fuel to do this because there's a couple of course corrections we'll need to do. And secondly, signal. I didn't put a big ass dish on this, and then I've remembered halfway through that I'm going to need to bounce the signal off of Minmus because the dish we're using has a 50 million meter range, and I think Minmus is 45 away, and Kerbal's sphere of influence, as you can see there, is probably like 80, 90. So we're going to need to be perfectly bang on here, and I'm just going to need to push our orbit over a little bit because I'm suspecting Minmus is going to be way inside. We're going to need to bounce the signal from Minmus back to Kerbal to actually be able to control this craft, because it's got no Kerbals on board, because I didn't want to risk any Kerbals on what could effectively be a really risky mission, and now the irony is I'm probably going to fail because I didn't want to risk Kerbals. Oh well, you know, it's 100 grand in a craft, so I'd like it back, but if it can complete the mission, good money. Anyway, this is our other and our main thing for today. That's going to take 17 days to get the edge of the Kerbal sphere of influence, so in the meantime, we're going to go back to the moon. And you know, last time we were going around the moon, we had this kind of crazy rover design that just exploded. If you'd flip it at all, and I was constantly like, let's not explode, let's be really careful, and oh god. And that was basically me for hours driving around. So I've gone, right, you know what we should do? We should just land. Plain old landing. But I don't want to just go to moon back, moon back, moon back for every biome. So we're launching 3 landers all at once. We've got Tajoka, we've got Forbidden, and we've got Red Kerman all flying this mission. An engineer, a pilot, and a scientist, which doesn't really matter considering we're actually going to be splitting them up, one in each lander, so whatever. But they were actually level 1's about to get to level 2, so I was like, you know, we pick these guys and they'll be able to level up quite nicely. So as you can see, what we've got here is we use a big-ass lifter section, like a massive lifter section, just with a mainsail on the back. I think that's the first time we used a mainsail, just because I was feeling a little bit lazy. And then we've got this for our transfer stage, and then you can see we've got 3 little rockets just sitting on top. Each one of those is going to target a different biome, and I'm thinking we'll do the craters around the moon's, equator. Mainly because they'll be easiest to land in, they're all on the same rough, plane, so that we can just get into a moon orbit and then just go you down, you down, you down. And you see here, I think we got that dark blue one. We've got, a green, we've got a tan, and we've got a lilac, all sort of nicely on the equator. I mean, we've got an orange one, and there's a light green down the bottom there that's, almost a target. We won't exhaust the moon biomes by any mean. There are at least, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 more biomes that we haven't hit up. 3 of them are near the pole and are possibly a future target for a rover. But I think that for now, we'll just get the 3 landing sites and call it a day for the moon. I might go back at some point in the future, but I'm feeling that once we've got this, we're good for a little while. Our main concern is actually going to be money. Just getting enough money to really be able to afford to upgrade the research lab so we can get high-level research, and also be able to upgrade the splitter hangar, etc., blah, blah, blah. What we might do in the future is actually work on a space plane. Now I've actually unlocked quite a lot of space plane parts. That's something I'd like to do. Anyway, we're doing our Mooner insertion burn. I'm actually using the maneuver planner for this because, we've done it so many times. I'm just like, let's just do this quickly. I can do it. We've done it before. It's not particularly a hard maneuver to do. So, it actually, by the way, takes us more fuel to do it this way, probably, because the maneuver planner aims to hit the target. We want to be in front of the target. So, I think it's a fair price to pay for laziness. So, bam, and we just need to do a manual burn, make sure we're going in front of the moon to be able to slow ourselves down. It saves us a little bit of fuel. And there we go. And you can see we actually run out of fuel. I actually want to use this stage to slow ourselves down around the moon rather than doing 3 separate burns. So I'm actually going to balance our fuel. You notice our camera actually moves to follow the center of mass. And then we can do this burn using the fuel from the upper stages. I think we've got enough tolerance in the upper stages. It's gonna be tight. These stages were designed to do their task, and obviously I've kind of screwed up one stage there, and I've used a couple of hundred Delta V that I didn't mean to use. So I think we'll be okay. I just hope we've got enough to get back from the moon and land on the moon and do everything else with these upper stages, because they're designed to do everything from here on in. So they're all detached. Let's find out where we're going to land. I mean, that's not great. That's nice. It's a nice big area. It's big, probably flat. Like, the problem about the orange area, it's a little bit weird shape. It might not be particularly flat. It might be quite curvy. So I'm just spinning ourselves around a little bit just to be able to push ourselves away. And we're going to move to our... not far from our deceleration burn point, actually. Probably about here. We're going to have to, point normal. We're going to have to do a retrograde burn. It's all pretty standard stuff. Now, the one downside is we are going to be in the dark, but I did fit these guys with enough battery life to be able to, like, just live for, like, 2 days without SAS on or anything, but they do have enough battery life that we're not going to have the problems we had with the rover, which is our battery life in the dark is severely constrained. These guys, they've got a solar panel, they've got loads of, like, resources. Instead of using the segmented, universal storage systems or whatever, that I normally use, I actually use the inbuilt tech life support triple layer thing, which you can just see there below the decoupler. It looks a lot uglier, but it actually has enough space for some food, some water, and for some oxygen. I decreased that amount to like a quarter, and they still have like 90 days or something. It's absolutely ridiculous. I have plenty of life support supplies. I've got this big solar panel that folds out. The reason I went for the fold out one, by the way, is because I can fold it back in and land, and it'll give me the money back for it, so I'm not too worried. It's just a case of not screwing up our landing in return. Life support's fine. We're going quite towards the edge of this crater, which means it's going to be a little bit bumpy, and I'm worried because we've only got 3 landing legs, not 4, because I had to stack them next to each other, so I could only do 3, and there's actually a side which doesn't have a landing leg on, and oh god, we're turning over. Why are you facing that way? It turned over the wrong way. We're not going to have time. Uh-oh. Burn. Just get rid of up. Okay, now burn up, burn up, burn up. That's not up, that's not up, that's not up, that's not up, that's retrograde. No! Burn up! No! No! Burn! We got lucky there. I mean, landing legs are pretty tough, and we did only hit 60 meters per second, which is 60 miles an hour or something. Probably more. But we then landed on the parachute, and if we lose a parachute, we just can't come back to Kerbin. Oh, too much horizontal. We're going to have to burn up again. I think we just need to burn up and, yeah, we're going to need to burn up and just reevaluate this. How much is our... we've got 5 meters per second of horizontal speed. We just need to get rid of that. That will tip us over. We're very tall, and we only have 3 landing legs. We can't do with any horizontal speed whatsoever. So there we go. Get it down to about half a meter, maybe a little bit less. There we go. Less than 10 centimeters per second. Right. Gently down. Now, it's a slope, which does play to our advantage, actually, because we can make sure that, the side of our landing leg is upslope, and that way we'll be tipping towards the landing leg rather than tipping away from a landing leg. Yes, this design is certainly not optimal. It is the lazy man's design of, I want 3 spaceships all at once to land. Yeah, I'm a little bit lazy sometimes. It's a flaw. I'm working on it. But Forbidden Kerbin's doing a good job. Aren't you an engineer? Well done. Well done, Forbidden Kerbin. Ooh. Ooh. Yay! I think we're down. Right, grab all the things. That too, but I meant to do all the other things before the... No, we're tipping, 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 we're tipping. Grab all the things and take off! We need a surface sample. We need to go back down. Oh, gently, gently. Try again. Our surface speed is still 40 centimeters. That's better. Oh, no, not better. Not better. Nope. At least we're going towards the landing leg. Please, hold. It did. Yay. Okay, maybe we shouldn't be pointing up, really. We should probably be pointing just lock. Yeah, because up is actually going to try and tip us to be straight up, and then, of course, we'll fall over because we don't have a landing leg. Let's just quickly get out. Grab that, and then we can come back. Also, our Kerbals don't have specific coloured uniforms at the moment, it seems. Or maybe just the helmet isn't coloured. It should be. I need to look into that. Alright, so we're just going to go up now, and it's a pretty simple case of just burning retrograde from the moon, making sure we leave its sphere of influence, get back to Kerbin's, and also have ourselves slightly slowed down because we're going back retrograde. Now, I'm going to do 2 more landings, and I'm actually going to do these at super fast speed, because honestly, they were pretty boring and straightforward. Unlike that one, they were just landing in the middle of a flat crater, and I paid attention to landing in the middle of the flat crater, not on the edge. So I'm going to do these at a super fast speed, because frankly, they're all the same, except for the fact these ones actually went textbook. I'm actually missing the rocket thrust, like all the particle effects for like the flames just aren't there. I'm not sure why that happened, but it was a thing. No idea why. You notice I've also completely forgotten. Oh, Forbidden must be... No, Forbidden's our scientist. It's the Joker who's the engineer. Yeah, but I completely forgot to put flags down because I'm an idiot. So, oh well. By the way, the alarm clock, Kerbal alarm clock, incredibly helpful. I'm using Kerbal alarm clock basically as each craft gets to leave the moon's SOI. There's an alarm set to take me to the craft so I can check, you know, where I need to do the retrograde burn, etc. It's really useful. This is exactly the use that Kerbal alarm clock is there for. Perfect. This would be so much harder to do without it. So, gently coming down. Absolutely textbook. Flat, center, and bam. Get ourselves a load of science. I'm expecting about 300 from each. And then, simple matter of taking off, and then burning around the moon. Easy. And retrograde. And alarm. You see we've got 3 alarms there. We should also put an alarm on for this when it exits the sphere of influence. Although I'm a little bit concerned they won't signal. I might need to do something about that. I don't know what I could do. Like, I could send out a probe at really high speeds, which would, like, fly past it and have, like, a big-ass dish on it, maybe? I don't know. I mean, we don't even have anything at Kerbin that's got a big-ass dish, so I have to work on that. Oh, well. Anyway, we've changed the SOI of this, so it's a case of putting up an alarm, and I think what we'll do is we'll burn at Apoaps, because I'm not sure we've got enough fuel. So, I put up an alarm saying, tell me when we get to Apoaps, which will be about 3 days' time, I think, for these guys. I'm going to switch craft again, delete that alarm, and alarm at Apoaps. It's nice that they're slightly different Apoapses and stuff, that I've got enough time between craft, I think, to be able to land them. And do all the appropriate movers. So delete that alarm. I don't know why I need to tell it to delete twice, but oh well. Another alarm for Apoaps. Really helpful. Like, this is why Kerbal Alarm Clock is like a must-have mod, in my opinion. Accelerate time. And Kerbal Alarm Clock slowing us down. This isn't me. You need to go to this craft. Ah, excellent. Let's burn retrograde. And hopefully got enough fuel. Yeah, it looks like we're good. A little bit more. There we go. Ah, there we go. Beautiful. This craft should hit the atmosphere nicely. It's not particularly hard return, and we've actually got a heat shield in addition to the inbuilt heat shield on the capsule, so I don't think we're going to have any problems, really. Moving on. Oh, and that's the next craft wanting to do a retrograde burn. Okay. Pointless retrograde, and let's do a burn. Ooh. Delta V looks really tricky on this one. Oh, God. We're about, you know, at least 70 kilometers really short of doing a nice entry. Yeah, 130 kilometers, that's way above atmosphere. 60 kilometers above atmosphere, those who don't know the atmosphere height in Kerbin. We're going to have to figure something out. Forbidden Kerbin, our scientist, very clever. There is a cunning plan we can do. And this is basically a couple of like, tricks you can use, by the way, if this ever happens to you. There are a couple of things you can do. Firstly, there is decoupler force. Decoupler force can allow you to get a little bit of distance. It does provide a little bit of a push. I don't think it will provide us with, the 70 kilometers of push we're looking for, though. That's just one thing to pay attention to. But there are a couple of other things we can do, and I think we'll show you them in a second. What I'm trying to do here is just get all the science out before we, lose the capsule. I was planning to do this, like, just before re-entry, but I might as well do it, like, not under time pressure, and I'm going to lose this section when I do my cunning plan, in inverted commas. Which, of course, means that I'm going to leave some debris in orbit. I was hoping to, like, lose the debris just as I was going to the atmosphere so it burns up. Instead, more debris for the Kerbal system. We have a lot of debris. Well, not a lot. We've been okay, but we are certainly building up the amount of debris we've got. So, grabbing all of that, and get back in the capsule. Hopefully the camera won't play up. I've had a few issues with the camera playing up and being like, you need to change your orientation! No, I don't, camera. Stop being silly. Excellent. Right. So, a couple of little cheesy tactics you can use. And ready? Just orientate ourselves correctly and then start spinning. Well, revolving, I guess. Well, it's spinning, but on a different axis. It's not roll spin, it's this. So we're going to use our SAS to get as much spin as possible, and then using the angular momentum, we're going to throw the capsule off of one end. That should provide us with a decent push. It's a lot more than what the decoupler will give us. We're just going to make sure we release at the right time to be thrown retrograde along our orbital path. That looks good. Get ourselves a little bit more speed. I don't think we're going to get any faster. I see, I think we're ready to eject. Get ready. Oh, that looked good. That looked like a really good release. I mean, it wasn't good enough. It was good for 55 kilometers, but it wasn't quite good enough. So that is actually a really good tactic. We actually made 55 kilometers of our periaps down by doing that. But I think we have to go back to the tried and tested method of get out and push. Oh, there we go. I can see the blue banding on the... It's just not the helmet. Okay, maybe I need to set the helmet up differently. So basically, the get out and push tactic consists of flatten yourself against the heat shield and just push it retrograde. You can run out of RCS, by the way. Kerbals do have a limited amount of RCS, which there is a little bit in all the capsules to be able to restock them. But it means that you can actually not be able to push far enough. That said, we only need to go down a few kilometers. We are at apoaps, so we've got the most efficient time to do a burn, which does consist of doing an RCS burn. That works. And we're actually now in the atmosphere. I think I want to go deeper in the atmosphere, though. I need to be certain, because by losing the low stage, we've lost fuel. Not fuel. We have lost fuel. But we've lost water, we've lost oxygen, and we've lost food, and quite a lot of our power reserve, like a battery. So, when we hit the atmosphere, we need to go back to Kerbin. We need to go deep into the atmosphere, because we don't have the life support supplies to go around again. This is going to be tricky as it is. It's about one day. Should be okay. Oh my god, the camera. Look at the camera. It makes me seasick to watch this almost. The camera just yawing from side to side. Like, should I go this way? Should I go this way? Look, the Kerbals turned around again! Weird. But, yeah, basically we need to make sure we go back. 14 kilometers, we should be entering the atmosphere, we won't be returning from that. But it's going to be tricky. We've got one day. Hopefully we've got enough life support supplies to make it. I think we'll be fine in terms of power. Power's the thing that kills you first, then it's oxygen, then it's water, then it's food. But I think we should be okay. We've got a day. I think the capsule has like a day's supply or whatever. So, it's a case of putting in an alarm. I don't think there's an alarm for entering atmosphere, so I'm going to use a periaps alarm with an hour margin. And then it's just a simple case of speeding up time, going to the last craft that needs to do a retrograde burn, and then taking them back. Which, I make it sound possibly easier than it is, but actually is a pretty simple thing to do now. Just point retrograde, provided we don't have to do another fling the craft around and push. Gently, 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 and... Where's our craft gone? Okay. So basically, occasionally, KSP has this weird bug where it will zoom you out to the maximum zoom out level when you re-enter a scene from map screen, all you have to do is like zoom in for like 30 seconds and you'll find your craft again. But the problem is you've zoomed out to such a level that it looks like your craft has disappeared. And that really screwed me over there. But oh my god, look at the camera motions here. Every time I'm moving, we're changing camera orientation. I have no idea why. But every time we move, so I'm doing a really gentle maneuvers here, because every time that the camera changes, it changes how our controls apply to the Kerbal. Like, wow, there. And again, oh my god. I'll be honest, this was a pain. An absolute pain to fly. This was incredibly difficult. But just a gentle down, careful, gentle in. If the controls change, then at least, I'm going slow enough that I'll be able to respond to them. But I have no idea why that is. It's not even telling me that, my camera's changing or anything. It's just changing it without even informing me. Not sure why that is. I don't think it's a mod, but... Oh, now I'm too far away from the seismic scan, which means I've got to move back towards it. By the way, I'm still loving the reflective visors. Oh god! This feels like I'm seasick or something. Like I'm at sea and it's sort of sloshing from one side to the other. Let's just back away gently. And oh god. Now that is up. Okay, good to know. Up changes. Up is whichever direction you decide. No, it's whichever direction the camera decides. God damn it, Ender. You got it wrong all along. And grab. Right. That nightmare's over with. Let's just get ourselves set up, and then it's just a case of returning all our things. I do need to pick up the science from this craft. I didn't actually get the science from our first craft, so let's just grab it all out. And this low stage isn't long for the world. Or actually, it is for the world, it's just not long for it. Because it's going back. Just to be burned up horribly. Oh, I love this sort of... I like this view down towards Kerbin. It looks like you're falling directly down. And of course, we're going around, just into the atmosphere. But I love that view, especially with the high-definition clouds and the texture. It looks so awesome. So my normal tactic is get a bit of spin up with the SAS to make sure that avoids our capsule on re-entry. And then a simple case of holding the re-entry course. This stage, it's very simple. A little just riding it out, pointing retrograde. Hoping not to burn out my batteries, pointing retrograde. But then again, I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's a very quick re-entry. And in fact, our course would pretty much hold us this way anyway now. So, we're good. We're good. Through the cloud layer and into the cherry trees. Parachute out. Landing. Bam! Recover vessel. Oh, 300 science. Absolutely lovely. And level up. Which, was to be expected. But the 300 science, really good. Right. So, next craft. Whee! Pull the parachute. Solar panel in, just because I want to save the money on the solar panel a little bit. And just don't hit a mountain on the way back, because, that could be painful. Probably not. Like, we've got a parachute and we're very light, so we should be fine. Parachute out. Land, recover, and one more. Awesome. I would talk about the technologies that I'm going to unlock, but unfortunately my recording program recorded nothing for that. Like, it recorded a black screen. It recorded audio, but effectively what I'm going to unlock is the nuclear engines, because they're really, really efficient and great for the deep space, which I think we'll be doing soon, and maybe a couple of random things, but the nuclear engine is the important one. Anyway, I've been EnterElysium. If you enjoyed today's episode, if you have, remember to like, you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. But until next time, I love you awesome nerds, and stay shiny.